Hello, it's Jono, lead tattoo editor of nextluxury.com. I'd like to welcome you to my little chat about the nextluxury.com article on symbolic tattoos, the top 50 symbolic tattoo types. I've chosen 10 for this little talk. Be sure to check the article out itself for a wider range of interesting and informative different symbols that are quite popular in the tattoo world. First one we've got here for you is the Ouroboros, which is commonly referred to either a dragon or a snake eating its own tail. This version I really love, though. It's beautiful in the fact that it's quite different. The watery eel type, circular, slithery thing just looks beautiful in that black, almost calligraphy style with the paint splatters and the tendrils. It looks really cool. It's a really interesting symbol, meant to, for all sorts of things such as eternity or, um, the life is circular and continuous and all those sorts of things. But this Ouroboros is quite a beautiful piece, and I really think the guy that got this on his side has got a really standalone piece of symbolic tattooing. Now, you'll also find that a lot of tattoo ideas and themes crop up in a lot of cultures, and a lot of different sort of ideas sort of work for different people over different things. This is a pretty cool version. This is the Celtic unending knot. Never ends, never begins. It's very similar to the Ouroboros in the fact that it's a symbol of time and perpetuity and all those sort of things. I really like this tattoo. It's really simple. That unending knot just done in nice, clean black line work, and internally the little hatches, almost like dot work for shading. And I think it works really well in this design, and it looks crisp and clean. Yeah, not a bad Celtic knot. The horseshoe. This is an American traditional style horseshoe. You'll find one on every single tattoo shop, window, wall, flashcard, somewhere in the shop. There is a lucky horseshoe tattoo done in the American traditional style, and this is a great example of that. Beautiful, clean, um, limited color palette, really simple design. This goes back as far as Sailor Jerry and beyond. Horseshoe means luck. Hopefully, it's the good kind. I like this tattoo, the type of thing a gambler like myself would probably enjoy getting. Now, this is an exceptional symbolic tattoo. This is the Phoenix, of course. This has got some very hawk-like characteristics, but it's a beautiful, bright, bold piece of tattoo art. Chest tattoo like this gives it that full breadth of the wingspan, which I think is really cool. As is the beautiful fire tail that goes with it. It's a really cool symbol. The Phoenix, of course, means rebirth, new beginnings. Um, you know, turning to bright colours and new life from ashes. And this is a really cool example of a Phoenix tattoo. It's really interesting. The Jesus fish. Now you've got the cross inside the Jesus fish, which is obviously the most used of the symbols of Christianity, but the Jesus fish, represents Jesus turning water into wine and loaves and fishes and all that sort of stuff. Is a really interesting symbolic tattoo that you can apply. That's a little bit different to the norm. I like this one. It's done to look like an ink style splash of calligraphy with the cross inside. I think it's a really nice, clean image, and not a bad sort of tattoo. the good thing about one of these symbolic tattoos is if you're aware of what that symbol means, you are able to identify with that person almost immediately. And this is one of those types of tattoos. The skull, different kind of symbol. You won't find it. You'll find it in every religion and meaning exactly the same thing. That the skull is linked as a symbol of death. Um, However, in tattooing, it's really interesting because you can utilize the skull in so many different sorts of tattoos to create that life and death sort of symbolism, which I think is one of the reasons why I fell in love with tattoos and why I love skull tattoos myself, is that you're able to put layer upon layer of meaning based on things that are important to you and ideas that matter in that sort of way of thinking. You can take a simple skull and say, yes, this means death, but you can add a dagger to it, and you can conquer death, and you can fight against it. Or you can have a Mexican sugar skull, the calavera, and you can, you know, pay homage to your ancestors and their memories, and utilize that as a symbol as well. So there's so much breadth and depth to a skull tattoo that not all of them mean the same thing. Here's another cool tattoo. Another classical Christian image. It's also linked to the Masons, goes all the way back to the Eye of Horus with the ancient Egyptian culture. This is what's known as the Eye of Providence. Um, this is an interesting symbol and an interesting take on that symbol with a simple sort of wooden triangular frame. The Eye of Providence is a way of depicting the eye of God who watches all, and the sun's rays on the outside of the triangle are his rays of light touching each one of us. Um, there are so many different interpretations that can be made for the Eye of Providence, which makes it such an interesting tattoo concept. We have a couple of articles on it themselves. Um, God is always watching, so to get a tattoo that goes across cultures with the same sort of symbology is kind of interesting to me, like the Eye of Horus or the Wedjat. You've got the evil eye from Turkish culture and the Mediterranean. You've got all sorts of different kinds of somebody's watching us imagery. That this is an interesting sort of type of tattoo. The Ankh, very central to the Egyptian religion and way of life, still is. I like this imagery in here. You've got some interesting symbols in there, like the star and things like that. And it's got a very tribal cast to it, this version. But the Ankh is the symbol of life, the giver of life and all things. And it's a really cool tattoo, this one. Very heavy black ink, bold traditional style, crisp use of lines, some really nice symmetry across the chest. Sort of brings about the sort of look of a curving cobra at the top. I really like this Ankh tattoo, and I've toyed with getting an Ankh tattoo myself, but this is a really good production of one done with heavy black, bold traditional styles. So a semicolon tattoo. This is a hugely. It's increasing in popularity every day. Um, the semicolon tattoo is used to sort of illuminate, understand mental health issues, particularly suicide and attempted suicide. It was brought about in 2002, 2013, 2014 as a means for people to sort of recognise the struggle that others are going through that are similar struggles, because mental health, suicide and suicidal ideation, those sorts of things aren't hugely talked about. So you see somebody with one of these tattoos and you've got one yourself, you know what they're going through because you've probably gone through it yourself or are always going through it. So it's a really cool use of tattoo as an identifier for people that would otherwise struggle to do so. the Om tattoo, and this is a great version of the Om tattoo. The Om is the sound of life. I think you can sort of describe it as very, very popular in Eastern religion, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism. But with the way that cultures are coming across and we're coordinating and having conversations and sort of enlightening ourselves on different aspects of other cultures that we like and enjoy, the Om is a very popular tattoo. This particular version is a calligraphy style piece, and it's really well done. It's got that Japanese style of calligraphy, the, the, the clean, heavy, saturated black line with the negative space, the flow. It looks like it's been done with a paintbrush and not with a tattoo gun, and that's the whole aim of the tattoo, and it's a really beautiful piece of art. So that's it. That's the 10 examples that we've taken from the best symbolic tattoos for men. I would highly recommend that you check it out. It's pretty cool set of symbolic tattoos. You've got heaps of different stuff from Celtic and Norse tattoo through to other Egyptian symbols like the Eye of Horus. There's something in there that generally resonates with everyone. I've got a number of these tattoos myself. The fleur-de-lis, for example, is in there. There is all sorts of really interesting stuff for you to check out. So make sure that you do. Just click the link there. Also, if you want to get hold of us, nextluxury.com is where you'll find all our tattoo galleries, our articles, and interesting stuff. You find us on instagram.com/nextluxtattoos. We're getting quite a following there, and you'll find all our newer galleries and interesting information contained in there, and some links to some really cool and talented tattoo artists and their work. And myself, I can be found at instagram.com/inkvisible. You'll find me there. You'll get a sort of an understanding of what I'm about and what I think is important in tattoo. And you'll also see some of my own work, which sort of stretches over 30 tattoos across quite a significant part of my body. So make sure you check it out. We welcome comments and questions, so don't be afraid to get stuck in. And until next time, see you later.